Here are some examples of some work problems, different work rates. And sometimes you see these also on the SATs, so you have to make sure that you kind of take good notes and write these down and save these when you're reviewing for your SATs. And we're going to do number 4. Judith can do a job in 4 hours. That Mike can do the job in 6 hours. How long will it take them to do the job if they work together? So we're going to use a table to organize our information, and I think you'll see how this works. So Judith can do a job in 4 hours. Mike can do it in 6 hours. Okay, so this is the table you want to draw, and this is a rate times time equals the amount of work done, or the fractional part of the work done in this case. So first of all, we want to determine Judith's work rate. So what does that mean? Well, it takes her 4 hours to do the job. Okay, that's number 4 here. So if it takes her 4 hours to do the job, in 4 hours she would do the whole job. In 2 hours, how much of the job would she do? Or how much of the job would she do? In 2 hours, she'd do 2/4, or half the job, because she can do the whole job in 4 hours. So in 3 hours, she'd do 3/4 of the job, because she'd work 3 of the 4 hours. It takes her 4 hours to do the whole job. So how much of the job could she do in 1 hour? Well, she'd do 1/4 of the job. So that's her work rate. 1/4 of the job per hour. In 2 hours, she'd do 2/4, in 3 hours, 3/4, in 4 hours, 4/4, or the whole job. All right. Okay, now Mike can do the whole job in 6 hours, so what would his work rate be? Well, he would do 1/6 per hour. 1/6 of the job per hour. And think about that. In 1 hour, he would do 1/6, in 2 hours, 2/6 or a third, in 3 hours, 3/6 or a half. So in 3 hours, he would do half the job. That makes sense, 3/6. So we put this over here in our table. A lot of these word problems, you put the values in tables, and it really makes it a lot easier. So Judith's work rate was 1/4 per hour. And Mike's work rate was 1/6 of the job per hour. Now they're going to work together, and they're going to work the same time. It says, if you read the problem, how long will it take them to do the job if they work together? So the time working we'll call X. They will work X hours. If X was 2 hours, Judith would do 2/4 of the job, and Mike would do 2/6 of the job. Okay? So if it was 3 hours, it would be 3/4. If it was 4 hours, it'd be 4/4. If it was 1 hour or 1.5 hours, it'd be 1.5. So if it was X hours, that's what we're going to call it. Then Judith will do X/4 of the job. So we can multiply that across, and the job she's going to do would be X/4. Like I said, if it was 1 hour, it'd be 1/4. 2 hours, 2/4, etc. And they're going to work the same amount of time, so he's going to work X hours also, and he's going to do X/6 of the job. Now this is the part of the job that they're going to do. In other words, if it was 1 hour, Judith would do 1/4, Mike would do 1/6, but 1/4 plus 1/6 doesn't add up to be a whole job, so they wouldn't get the whole job done, so X has got to be a little bit bigger than 1. But when they get the whole job done, both fractional parts will add up to be one complete job. It's like 4/4 or 6/6, whatever. So we're going to just add these. So we usually just add these two entries in these columns, and that is going to equal one complete job. And that's all you have to do. Because we want the fractional part that Judith does of the job added to the fractional part that Mike does of the job to add it to be one complete job. In other words, if she did 2/3 and he did 1/3, 2/3 plus 1/3 is 3/3, one whole job. So there's your equation. That goes down here. X/4 plus X over 6 equals one job. And then now we got a fractional equation. We just multiply by the LCD. In this case, the least common denominator is 12. Not 24, but 12. So you multiply every term by 12. And 4 goes into 12 3 times, so now we have 3x. 6 goes into 12 twice, so we've got 2x, and that equals 12. Double check. 3x plus 2x is 5x. Divide both sides by 5, so x equals 12 fifths, which is 2 2/5 hours. Okay? So there you go. 2 2/5 hours, and you could actually figure that out. If you divide an hour, it's 60 minutes. Sometimes this works out nice if you divide that by 5. 5 goes in there 12 times, so 5 times 12 is 60, so every fifth is 12, so it would be the same thing as 2 hours and 24 minutes. Two-fifths of an hour is 24 minutes. Oops, sorry, I didn't show you that work there. Okay. So that's a pretty basic problem, but again, we're going to be using these tables. Please draw the table and give yourself plenty of room.